So today we talked about parents, how parents are different than the average consumer, how parents have a different emotional makeup, the best ways to create content that will connect with parents, and then some tips on how to optimize distribution for getting the most bang out of your buck in terms of reaching parents in a targeted way at scale. Sure, so there's a few things that we're following really interestingly. Number one that is growing in prominence is we're seeing a lot of companies, marketers, advertisers really call people out for not engaging in a strong user experience. You know, this kind of harkens back to the days when ad blocking was all the rage. There seems to be a new boogeyman every couple of years, so you know, ad blocking might have a bit of a renaissance with some of the conversations that Google Chrome has been having. But the IAB has really been leading the charge with their lean guidelines. We have the Coalition for Better Ads really taking on user experience. But we're not there all the way. So right now, a lot of these companies are talking about good UX from an ad format point of view. There have been a variety of studies, a variety of guidelines released, but they don't factor in every single type of ad platform out there, every type of video player. So there's definitely some gaps, but they do tend to stop at the video player stage. Whereas I think it's really important for advertisers to realize that content and distribution are two sides of the coin for success. So as the Coalition for Better Ads is giving advice on ad formats, there should also be guidelines for how to make strong content. And at Unruly, that's what we specialize in. We've been studying what makes people engage with content for well over a decade. We've always been focused on the metrics that matter. Back in the day when people were so focused on views, that was never enough for us. Views are budget. Views are purchased. These engagement metrics are earned, and this is something that advertisers are starting to focus on more and more. Mobile video is another one. We spend a lot of time trying to understand how people prefer to engage with video ads. And you know, we're seeing a lot of mobile studies come out, we've run our own, and everyone's in agreement. Vertical video is the video of the future. It's tops for engagement, it's immersive, it's full screen. From a mobile point of view, it's far better than kind of these interstitials that are very often forced ad views and very interruptive. So we're definitely taking a look at the trend of mobile video, but how people want to engage with it. The fact that most people don't want to turn their phone to watch horizontal video. But it's a little daunting for brands to have to make different types of video creative. So we're looking at different ways that we can help them and ways that we can make this easier for them, whether it's working with our vertical video collective, whether it's working with our creative studios, but to make sure that you're having the right types of formats for all of the different types of players, for all of the different types of consumers that you want to engage. The battleship is definitely turning when it comes to metrics that brands are looking at, conversations. I'm really, really happy to see the conversation about emotional storytelling taking off. It was a big feature at the ANA conference back in the fall. We're seeing that story continue. The NewFronts are full of stories about people wanting to make premium content. Little less fixated on runtime, so that's really interesting, because I think that video is still, you know, kind of considered from its TV roots. And when you think of video ads, a lot of advertisers are still locked into these 30 or 60 or 15-second runtimes, which isn't a factor on digital. You know, if you're making really strong ads, people will watch. You know, there's this great viral video going on right now from Kraft about how to swear like a mother, right? It's really resonating with parents, so we've been spending some time there. We're on the cusp of Mother's Day. The zeitgeist timing makes sense. It's a long video. If brands are focused on quality, and there's a lot of garbage out there, so the brands that are focused on quality will get that attention. They'll be able to earn that time with the consumer. You know, going back to mobile, because all of these things are interrelated. A lot of mobile has been associated with short snackable content, but people are watching long-form TV and movie content on the big screen in the living room and the little screens in our pockets. So ads can kind of fit into that same model. We are not differentiating as much as maybe people are trying to enforce kind of these strict guidelines. People are not differentiating across screens. So people really need to think about, advertisers need to think about, what is the right screen for reaching my demographic? How do I make my video discoverable? How do I connect with people in an authentic way? And factor all of these things in. So for example, one of the questions we're very often asked, because at Unruly we're video specialists, people want to know the optimal runtime for a campaign. And we try to dissuade people from thinking that way. It's good enough to tell a great story. You can tell a great story, you can make an emotional connection in 6-second vines, or not anymore, but 6-second videos. The lows fix it in 6 are some of my personal favorites of how you can convey really useful information in just 6 seconds. We're also seeing some really emotional videos that are 3, 4, 5 minutes long that people are hanging in there and watching.